The Arizona Cardinals 2025 schedule is here. It's not official, but we know each and every one of the 17 games and bye week for the Redbirds in 2025. Johnny Venerable.
We'll tell you how many primetime games the Cardinals got, if any, and were they snubbed, and the critical juncture that could define this season. PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, welcome in. Live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, schedule release show. I'm Johnny Venerable. He's Brack. Welcome to your premier Arizona Cardinal podcast, #1 in the world. Like and subscribe, leave us a 5-star. Get us at 50K here on YouTube. Fired up here, schedule release. We have it, the entirety of the Cardinals 2025 NFL schedule. Your boys may have even dropped a couple tasty nuggets over the last 12 hours. We're going to talk about it ad nauseum. Brack, how we living?
We're living well. We're living very well, especially early on. And we'll allude to what maybe that means for the Arizona. Yeah, that's right. 5 big booms, maybe even 6 for the Cardinals to start the season. And then, of course, you got your usual gauntlet. And then what do the primetime games look like? We're going to unveil all of that about 30 minutes earlier than, of course, the NFL is going to review it. Yeah, what's going on? Ozzy, Zachary, I see you. How about David? Vonnie Venerable, Shaff already in the chat as usual. Booms, Cardi D, how we doing? Dee Dee, the squad. Alec, I love it. I love to see you here. And everybody representing Michael Meyer. The whole squad ready to talk about this Arizona Cardinals team and its 2025 slate.
If you like what you see, smash that like button. We got producer Shane, head of production, behind the mic today, keeping us honest. We got a big show announcement later in the show, but let's talk about the precursor to the schedule news that we broke last night. Shameless plug for your little fanboy podcast that could. The Cardinals are returning to Thursday Night Football, week 4 of the NFL season. As we reported last night, exclusive to this show, they are hosting the Seattle Seahawks in week 4 on Thursday Night Football. We dropped it. We haven't had a chance to react to it, Bo, so I'm going to give you the floor, my guy. What do you think? Can the Cardinals beat the Seattle Seahawks? Let me check my watch for the first time in what seems like forever.
It's been far too damn long, right?
Yeah.
Like there's been some stinkers on Thursday Night Football between these two teams. There's been some good showdowns between these two squads, but just most recently it's been Seattle domination. And for you to make your return to prime time, potentially wearing those rivalry uniforms, week 4, as we reported last night after 10 o'clock, you might have been in your pajamas, but you were finding out a little nugget about the Cardinals and their schedule. They're going to be taking on Sam Darnold. They're going to be taking on a defense that had a lot of success against the Arizona Cardinals. Are they going to be able to right some of those wrongs, fairly early, the first quarter of the season on a short week? You go from playing on the 21st to playing on the 25th, but you get the luxury of not having to travel and play at home. Look, I mean, I think if you want to make your return to the Thursday Night Football, you want it earlier in this season when you're a little bit more fresh. And yeah, it's going to be against an opponent that's probably figuring some things out. Not only a new quarterback, but a new offensive play caller for Seattle and a second-year coach in McDonald. So you got to start to maybe change the narrative on some things. This provides that opportunity, but what you're up against.
Yeah, it's a prime matchup for the Cardinals to be able to get an early division dub. It's not their earliest divisional game this year, but it really felt like the Cardinals played the Seahawks at the worst possible time last year because it was that defense that we had heard all about. Like Mike McDonald and his group got it going in the second half. They were maybe the best defense in the NFL, save for Baltimore. And the Cardinals played them in a 3-week stretch and were not competitive offensively. Now it's on the flip side, as you mentioned, Sam Darnold, right? No DK Metcalf, no Tyler Lockett. They've got some new pieces. They're adding a couple players in the draft that they're excited about. Week 4 is a perfect time to bring Sam Darnold back to State Farm Stadium for the first time since that fateful playoff game, which he was atrocious. We all saw it in person. Seeing go Sam Darnold 2.0. That's a game. Yeah, I'm calling it right now. Week 4 on Thursday Night Football. Distinct advantage for the home team. That's a must win. I'm declaring that May 14th here on a Wednesday in the offseason, a must win week 4 against the Seattle Seahawks. You cannot be losing that game if you're JG, Kyler Murray and company on a national stage. It would mean so much for this team to come out, be the marquee game that week on prime time, and to win that game and assert hopefully some dominance in the NFC West. Your psyche, I think it would just change. It could change the trajectory of the season. It's a must win.
Look, you love to think about spooky Sam Darnold there late September against the Arizona Cardinals in prime time. I like it. I mean, I think that they're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage, just 3 games together, trying to be a cohesive unit offensively, mixing in the new play caller, mixing in the new quarterback who goes back to the haunted house that scared the G. Willikers out of him on a playoff game on a stage that we saw. And then also, you've got the playmakers like Cooper Kupp. Is he going to be in a good spot? Is he going to be up to speed as far as his new offense coming over from Los Angeles? You mentioned the DK Metcalf exiting. And then, of course, where the Arizona Cardinals improved, they revamped that defensive line. When they did play Sam Darnold back when he was a member of the Minnesota Vikings and humming last season, they were a bit undermanned, to say the least, on the defensive front seven. That's not going to be the case no matter really what happens, because they're so, chock full of guys coming in the interior of that defense and hopefully off the edge. The addition of Josh Sweat, Walter Nolan inside, Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson, that they have the horses to put the pressure on Sam Darnold.
We've got it. Should we take a look? The entirety of the 2025 Arizona Cardinals schedule, Bo, you posted it on Twitter. Here it is. And we've dropped some of these nuggets over the course of the last 12 hours. We broke the home opener, week 2 against Carolina. We're going to talk about that. Of course, we broke week 6 against the Colts at Indy. Let's start, though, with that first block of games, Bo Brock. The opener, I mean, could you ask for a better opponent? The poverty expansion level New Orleans Saints, albeit on the road, starting the likes of either Tyler Shuck, a 30-year-old rookie, or Spencer Rattler with let's just call it what it is. And I think an over his skis, Kellen Moore as head coach. This is the perfect opportunity for the Arizona Cardinals to go into a dome where they play, also in a dome, and dominate the Saints. This has to be an ass-kicking game of all sorts. You have to leave no doubt. I don't care that it's a road game. You're going to be healthy and you're going to be in position, Bo, to go into a building with, a raucous atmosphere, but one that you're comfortable dealing with, because the Saints, they're just not a good team. In fact, many people think they're the worst team in the NFL, and you have to make sure that they believe that on that football Sunday to open the year.
Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find an advantage that the Saints have going into this game. It is just one of those teams that is in a horrible spot where they're equally old as they are inexperienced. They are a mess of a franchise right now. They're finally having to make mortgage payments on all those times their cap was out of sorts, and they're just devoid of true developmental talent. This is a tone-setter game, albeit on the road in a hostile environment, as it always is down there in the Big Easy. But as you mentioned, the quarterback position in disarray. Kellen Moore just taking the only opportunity that he could receive in the offseason as far as a head coaching position. It was by far the worst job available this offseason. And it's just with that QB position in flux, but the rest of the roster in equally out of sorts. This is an opportunity for the Cardinals to come in and send a message that they're going to set the tone as far as week 1 of the regular season on September 7th and go in there and show that and dominate on both sides of the football. That's what this opportunity is, because this is just going to be one of the it would be one of the best stories of 2025 if the Saints put together even close to a 500 season. They don't have any expectations beyond being back in the top 10, top 5 of the 2026 draft.
They're trotting out an old Alvin Kamara. They don't have receivers to speak of outside of Chris Olave. Their defensive front seven is atrocious. The Cardinals ought to be able to win this game, yes, with quarterback play, but with a dominant line of scrimmage, especially on the defensive side. When was the last time we've said that? I want to carry that conversation, that momentum, to week 2. This is a game that we're all going to circle on our calendar. This is a belt to asses kind of game. Carolina Panthers come into State Farm Stadium. I already have, we broke this news on Twitter. Yes, this show. This show broke this news. I was quote tweeted by a slew of Panther fans that said things like, "Oh, we're going to win this game by triple digits."
What?
Cardinals, that's what
100?
they said. Cardinals, if you can't get up for this game, don't show up to the stadium. The Cardinals, I believe, largely rebuilt their front seven following what happened in Charlotte last year with the playoffs on the line, and you let fraud Chuba Hubbard and company run for 160 on you. You couldn't sniff, Jan Sport backpack Bryce Young in that game. That has to be a game, capacity crowded State Farm Stadium, where you smack around an undersized Bryce Young and you embarrass Carolina offensively. I am so confident that the Cardinals are going to win this game. When the line becomes available with Bet365, I'm putting a premium amount on the Cards money line. And I expect the Cardinals, by the way, to be favored in both these games to open up the season. I know the Cardinals have not played Carolina well in Charlotte or at State Farm Stadium. This game will be different. The Cardinals will boat race Carolina in this game. I promise they will destroy the Panthers in this game.
They have to. I mean, they need to, I think, to amend themselves for what happened last season. That was about as ugly as it gets. When you have, you're staring down a divisional opponent on a Saturday, and all you have to do is take on a lowly Panthers team on the road the previous weekend, and you can't get it done. You have multiple opportunities, and you squander it. And you've got Trey McBride coming off the field, and he's in disbelief. And saying he can't believe they lost to those effing guys. The season ending right there in Charlotte. And it has to have left a bad taste in this organization's mouth, and its leaders need to make sure that there isn't an equal letdown in week 2 against this team. Teteroa McMillan making a bit of his homecoming for him. He's going to come back to the state that he started in college down the I-10 at University of Arizona, but that can't be, a reason for them to have life. You need to show that your rebuilt defense was one of the deciding factors in why Carolina had an opportunity to stay in that game and win that game last year and say we're a different team now.
Everybody drop a like. We got almost 500 already watching live. So much to dive into. Let's keep things going. Week 3 against the San Francisco 49ers on the road. The Cardinals took care of business in Santa Clara last year. You were pretty brash, Bo, in our conversation off air. You felt like this is lands in a very precarious place for the Arizona Cardinals. The Niners, I think we both agree, are the benefactor of a big-time fraudulent schedule, the likes we have not seen in some time, save for the Denver Broncos last year. The San Francisco 49ers could very well be 2-0 coming into this game, but this will be the first real football team that the San Francisco 49ers play.
I mean, they open on the road in Seattle.
I'm sorry.
That should be a tough game for them.
I thought they had a couple cupcakes to open up the season.
But yeah, and then they get the Cardinals week 1 opponent, week 2, they go on the road to New Orleans. So they very well, I think they could be 1-1, 0-2 potentially. I don't know. I don't think they're 2-0 rolling in or coming home and taking on
I think they've got at least one win.
Yeah.
But I don't think they beat Seattle in the opener. I think the Cardinals want to send a message early in that division. Last year was not a fluke. They swept San Francisco for a reason. We've talked about it ad nauseum, where the Cardinals may not match up well offensively to defensively with Seattle. And we saw that last year. They didn't match up well. I think the Cardinals match up incredibly well with an immobile Brock Purdy, an old broken down Christian McCaffrey, a bunch of receivers that are expensive. George Kittle's another year older. Talked about Ayuk's not available now. The defense for San Francisco will be in the early portion of the rebuild. I think when the Cardinals play San Francisco later in the year, Robert Saleh and those guys are going to be playing much better. This is when you want to play them, when they're still figuring things out, getting their bearings about them. Again, I like the Cardinals in this game too.
You should, right? I think that finally the difference between the two rosters is come closer. I think maybe the star power, the Niners have a bit of an edge, but they're aging out of that. That roster, there was a mass exodus there this offseason, but there still was enough there to where it's not completely empty. But the Cardinals have caught up, considerably, and they're in a really good spot. And I think as far as the trajectory, you've got two different teams. One team's trending up, one team's trending down, and the Cardinals can kind of flex to that. But I think it's incredibly important to come into this game 2-0. I mean, it's a divisional rival with a team that does have talent on its roster. That if it's not a given that you go into Santa Clara and you walk out of the win, even though I think you should have more confidence than you have in a long time. And you beat them, you swept them last year. And I know people would say that the finale doesn't count, but look, regardless, it was in the win column last season. You went 2-0 against them, and you have a chance to move that to, oh my gosh, now you got a win streak against the 49ers all of a sudden. But the opportunity is absolutely there. And, it's when you looked at the first three games and two of the road games, it's not too daunting. This is the opposite of last year's schedule. It really is. And it's going to show that, and you're going to see it, and it's going to flip, because there is a bit of a murderer's row here. But is what you're really kind of starting to see is this is very conducive to a hot start for the Arizona Cardinals, where they can stack some wins early.
And then we already touched on it. Let's see it one more time. Shano, week 4, the first of 2 primetime games, hosting the Seattle Seahawks at home on Thursday Night Football. We both feel like this is a game where the Cardinals have to show out for primetime against a divisional opponent they have not played well against. I expect an entertaining game. Cardinals are in a much better spot to be disruptive on the defensive line with a Seattle offensive line that manhandled Arizona, for lack of a better term. They couldn't get after Geno Smith last year. So again, road, home. The first 4 games, it rotates. We're going to do a schedule prediction show tomorrow in terms of we're going to go through win and loss throughout the course of the entire schedule. But I think we would both be disappointed with, given where this team is, if they did not exit the first quarter of the year at least 3-1, Bo Brock.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, when you've got, and I think those wins, you could probably flip between week 3 and week 4, where your third win comes against a division opponent. You certainly can't go 0-2 in the division to start things off. That's a no-no, especially with what the expectations are this season. But then, like, if you put yourself in that position to go 3-1, you got a really good chance to go 4-1, because the next week you're at home against the number 1 pick and one of the worst rosters in the league, against the Tennessee Titans on October 5th. And then on the road after that, Johnny, against a hapless Indianapolis Colts team. So, like, remember when we were looking at last year, the first 6 weeks of the season, you're like, holy hell.
Can they get to 500 maybe?
Yeah. And now you've got 6 opponents, Johnny, that were non-playoff teams. They were legitimately non-playoff teams, and the Seahawks were the best. Like, they were a 10-win team that missed out on the postseason, but still they were on the outside looking in. But Saints, 5-12. Carolina, terrible, double-digit losses. San Francisco, terrible team last season. Seattle was the outlier, and then you've got 2 terrible teams in the Tennessee Titans and Indianapolis Colts. I mean, this is complete reverse of last year. Now things, the pendulum will swing back here at the end of the season, but this is where you need to stack some wins. You can't have, like, if you're leaning into the continuity of this offense, you want, and the chemistry needs to be there. You can't be figuring it out through the first 6 weeks. You have to be undeniably good offensively in these first few games, and also show how much you improved on defense.
We should be learning a phrase that I try to teach my son's flag football team. It's called mercy rule. We should have some mercy rules against some of these teams early on offensively. We're going to continue to break down this schedule. 600 watching live. Drop a like. It's PHNX Cardinals. Man, oh man, chomping at the bit to get this schedule in large part so I can dabble with future bets and more with our friends at Bet365. Never ordinary. Use the bonus code PHNX365 when you sign up. Right now is the prime time to lock in a lot of these lines. We're going to break it all down. Again, I fully expect the Cardinals to be heavy favorites in the large majority of their games. What a stark contrast from last year. I'll tell you what's not a contrast: saving money and making money with our friends at Bet365. How about the 100% parlay boost? Whoop, whoop. Double your winnings on parlays with Bet365's 100% parlay boost. All you got to do, download the app, use the bonus code PHNX365 when you sign up. Choose your offer, find out why, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary. Again, new customers, if you deposit a 10 spot, bet $5 on next to anything, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets. Win or lose. Those bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Again, you got to be 21 years and older, physically located here in the great state of Arizona. If you were someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, text NEXT-STEP to 53342, or visit problemgambling.az.gov, Bo, for more info.
Can't wait to take in all the spreads, all the lines on the board up there at Bet365. Love that. Bet365, that's great. That's a great number. How about $350 off your flooring journey with our friends over at Empire Today? Look no further. If you are looking into maybe some new hardwood, carpeting, laminate, tile, whatever it may be, Empire Today is the spot for you. Of course, they have the professionals. They're going to make your new flooring journey quick, convenient, easy, and painless. And man, is it going to be looking good in your dwelling. Just get on their website right now, empiretoday.com/PHNX. With the code PHNX, you get that $350 off plus a free in-home estimate, because it's always better when it's free and it's in-home, so convenient. Plus, you got the virtual floor designer on the website. All you do is pop up your smartphone, you take a picture, and then you can see what the new carpeting, new hardwood floors, the tile, laminate may look like in your setting. Check it out right now. Don't delay any longer. Take advantage of all the incentives that they have over at Empire Today. Schedule that free in-home estimate. Get the $350 discount using the promo code PHNX. And, of course, check everything out. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/PHNX for full details.
Drop a like on this video. Subscribe. Again, throw in your super chats. We're breaking it all down. Plus, we've got special guests here right around the corner to talk about one of our newest partnerships that we're excited to debut for the 2025 season experience with PHNX Cardinals. But let's keep things going. We went through the first 4 games. Let's keep it going. The back half of quarter 2, kicking things off. I mean, you touched on it. The team that was picking first overall, the team that's going to be starting a rookie quarterback, the team that fired their general manager, trying to run it back with a bad group at the coaching staff. Tennessee Titans at home. Again, with respect to the Titans, that's going to be a game where you would expect the Cardinals, like the Jets and the Bears a year ago, whoop some ass, take care of business on October 5th, Bo.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what you need to do, especially when you start to you'll get into a weird spot of your schedule. It was very similar to last year, but flipped, because once you get beyond this, you get into some teams that are kind of unknowns going into this season. But as far as, the Cardinals' ability to stack some wins early on, it truly goes 1-6 with that opportunity. And then you move your way towards week 7, where you do get the advantage of being at home, Johnny, against the team. You've had some bangers as far as some playoff games in your history against the Green Bay Packers, a team that dismantled you in Lambeau last year, but a team that did not finish strong last year at all. They went 0-2 down the stretch in the regular season, and then also lost in an ugly fashion to Philly in the playoffs. So have lost 3 straight. Jordan Love and the Packers. This is, I think, one of those games where you can show that, hey, we've pushed our way into another tier as far as the NFL goes. This is kind of a barometer. This is a measuring stick game potentially at home against the Packers. And it starts to go from, okay, you got your easy mode to start, 6 games, don't overlook them, got to take care of business. And then you start to get into, okay, we can start to maybe prove ourselves, and people won't just look at the early half of their schedule and be like, oh, they're just benefiting from an easy slate.
I couldn't agree more. And this is a game where you start to think about last year, all but one, the Carolina loss of the Cardinals losses were to teams that won 10 plus games, were to teams that were in the postseason picture that made the playoffs. Like, we're talking about them needing to take care of business against Tennessee and against Indianapolis, right? These teams with middling to below average quarterback play. Then we look at the Packers and we think to ourselves, like, This is who you're trying to be. This is who you're trying to eclipse in the NFC. Like, can Kyler Murray on a Sunday outduel Jordan Love? You're paying him like he should be able to do that in your building. Can Kyler Murray outduel Sam Darnold? Like, I feel like right now, this is where the Cardinals need to level up with their schedule, because really, outside of maybe the Charger game last year, when did the Cardinals beat a quality opponent with an above average quarterback? It didn't happen all that often, right? They won the games they were supposed to early on, but then Commanders early, loss, Bills early, loss, right? Like, there were games where, yeah, we thought it would be close, and they were, Vikings late in the year, but you just didn't have enough oomph to get them over the top. And I feel like now, with the continuity offensively, which they're clearly betting the house on, and then, Bo, that defensive influx, we've all seen the GIF or the clip on Twitter of the Cardinals' disheveled defensive line attempting to get at Jordan Love, and it's like flag football. It's like 7-on-7. He's got like 12 seconds to throw. The Cardinals are going to be in a much better spot to compete, because they couldn't compete with the Packers last year in Green Bay. They will compete this year.
Yeah, they should. I mean, I think this is probably one of those teams that you want to set your sights up high, and you want to be like, okay, they're going to go from 8-9 and they're immediately, in contender status. But this is one of those teams that is consistently been in the wild card weekend. They won a game 2 playoffs ago, made their way to the divisional round, took the Niners to the brink. Like, this is the type of team that you want to be in the same conversation with, and you have to show in a tight contest, win or lose, and it should be, win at home. We'll see, what the odds makers are going to be saying at this point in the season. I think as of right now, you're going to look at the preseason odds in this game, and you'll see a slight favorite, I think, as far as the Packers go. But can the Cardinals chip away at that, and can they get to the Week 7 game and maybe be favorites in this game going in?
It's going to be probably the biggest marquee game outside of Seattle to start this season. It's going to be every couple of games the Cardinals get a litmus test, right? Are you ready to compete? Are you ready to play with the big boys? Let's keep things going here, Shana. Let's take a look at that schedule. So the Packers in Week 7, rounding out the first quarter of the season, is the bye, Week 8. I mean, it's pretty solid bye when you think about, okay, they get time off after the Seahawks game. Then they get a bye in Week 8. We saw our friends at CHGO Bears. What, the Bears bye like Week 4 or 5? Like, that's a nightmare world. Like, the Cardinals, you're at middle to late October. Like, I don't hate that location for a bye, especially when you look at November 9th and you look at the Cardinals' other primetime game. It's not on a Sunday, friends. It's going to be a long time between October 19th and November 3rd. A bye plus November 3rd, Monday Night Football in Big D. Kyler Murray returns against the Cowboys, to which he is undefeated against the Dallas Cowboys in his career. He goes up against Dak Prescott on Monday Night Football for the Cardinals' second primetime game, at least right now. Bo, what do you like about November 3rd, Week 9 for the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, when Dallas is one of your opponents, you always think of games like this, brighter lights, right? Getting a bigger stage, prime time. And you can look at the history of it. And then, as I mentioned, you got kind of those hot, cold teams. And that's exactly what Dallas is. You don't know what to expect, where they could be in Week 9 of the season. Could this be a team that is riding high? Are they atop the NFC East standings? Are they a team that's, once again, dysfunctional and just completely taken down by their own enemies? It's possible. I mean, all scenarios are in play as far as Dallas, but this is always a fun game to have on your schedule. And this is one that, I think that the Cardinals and their fan base, and I think that they should be confident that they should match up very well, even with a full strength Dallas team that is just, it's like Micah Parsons on the defensive side of the football. You saw them take a big step back with Dan Quinn not there. And like, you should be able to take advantage. Like, maybe you think of shootout and you think, hey, maybe our rebuilt defense at that point should be rolling in the right spot to where they could, put your offense in the right spot to take advantage of it on a huge stage in Monday Night Football.
There are people asking on Twitter. So the Cardinals released a Mack Wilson diss track schedule release.
Yeah, just drop some bars on the new schedule.
Yeah, and the Cardinals haven't released their schedule yet. It could drop any minute. So this is our projection for the schedule, because there are people asking, well, why doesn't the Mac Wilson song line up with the schedule? And I couldn't tell you. We listened to the song earlier. I think the schedule is just kind of rapping the opponents. Did you kind of get that vibe?
Yeah,
as well,
I did too. Yeah,
okay.
I didn't see it like it was not like a roadmap to the Cardinals 2025 schedule outside of it just being the opponents. But
hey, here are the teams, and this is what we got.
I mean, if he's not doing it chronologically, I feel like we kind of need one that is chronological. So, Johnny, are you willing and able to make that?
No, I'm not, and I will not subject 613 people to that, because this is a serious show.
Chat, leave a like if you want Johnny to rap, and if we get to what number, Johnny, before the end of the show?
Man, infinite, a million likes, and
I think there should 500. Be. I think 500 is fair.
If we get to 500 likes before the end of the show, Johnny, will you make a chronological schedule rap?
I'll do my best. If we get to 500 likes here, we already, like 20 people just jumped off, and they were worried about that to happen. We're at 615 viewers.
They cringed to death actually thinking about you freestyling chronological schedule.
You know what I dislike is, and I think I've told you guys this, and if people in the chat do this, no disrespect, lip syncing on social media and those videos where people are like cutting clips from TV shows and they're lip syncing and they're,
TikTok.
Yeah, I don't like that. And I think me rapping is adjacent to that, and I don't want to feed that narrative. I'm happy to,
it's not.
It is. It's pretty close.
Adjacent to that. You're your own. You're your own creator, John.
Let's see. People are saying the Cardinals' schedule is officially out. Did we miss anything? Did we flub up anything? How are we looking?
I don't believe so. There's the rap video from.
Is the rap video? The rap video. I don't mean to keep playing that music if you guys can hear that, but you guys will have to let us know how the rap video is.
The preseason, they've got the Chiefs and they've got the Raiders.
Ooh, that's fun. That's super cute. All right, here it is. Here's the schedule. New Orleans, Carolina, San Francisco, Seattle, Tennessee, Indy, Green Bay, Dallas, Seattle, San Fran, Jacksonville, Tampa, Rams, Houston, Atlanta, Cincy, LA Rams. I think we got it perfect.
Yeah. There was
your little fanboy podcast taking care of business per usual. Sorry, I didn't line up with the Mac Wilson rap song, but we've had this bad boy for about 3 hours time.
Yeah. We finna get it right. We did.
Ooh, that was smooth. We've been practicing that.
That's about all we got for today, folks. We're gonna go ahead and sign off. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Come on, NBC. I want to talk about the schedule.
Didn't miss any prime time.
Right now that we've been proven right yet again, let's keep it going with the schedule. So Dallas, great opportunity to whoop some ass on Monday Night Football post bye. Again, I'm chalking that up as a dub. This is a very difficult stretch here. Afterwards, you have to go to Seattle, House of Horrors, for Kyler Murray and company.
Yeah.
Week 10 on November 9th. Inclement weather, maybe, but hopefully not. Hopefully you get
short week, 6 days.
Short week. So that's tough. Followed swiftly by
Seattle on short rest both times.
Yeah, but you need to take care of it. So they're on short rest on the 4th is the week 4. So to me, it's like you need to split with Seattle, you need to split with the Rams, and you need to sweep San Francisco again.
Yeah.
Go 4-2 in the division.
Well, I think this is a pivotal stretch right here, Johnny. When you look at this schedule and you get to, even Monday Night Football post bye, and we talk about. You mentioned that House of Horrors, the nightmare fuel that was post bye last year, where you go in 6-4 atop the NFC West standings, and then you fall on your face and go 2-5 down the stretch. You starting November 3rd on the road on Monday Night Football, you've got to get some wins here, whether it's against Dallas or whether it's on the road against Seattle. You certainly have to take care of business these next 2 games between San Francisco and Jacksonville at home, because once you get to week 14, that's when the gauntlet stretch comes. And you can maybe even make that case on the road against Tampa. That's when it truly starts in week 13.
To me, you have to chalk up as many wins as you can before the bye week to be able to say, if we have to play 500 football at times in the second half, we can do that. And right now, you come out of that stretch. I mean, I don't think it's hyperbole to say, like, if you come out of that stretch after the bye and you're 1-2, like, you need to be in a position where you can withstand that, because the tail end of this schedule is going to tell us everything we need to know about the state of this roster and the rebuild. The way we're talking about the Bucks and Atlanta and the Rams and Houston, like, those teams need to be looking at the Cardinals and thinking to themselves, like, this is a tough matchup for us. This is a tough matchup for us, given where the Cardinals are at, their rebuild and their trajectory. I know the schedule is murderer's row gauntlet, late November into December. Year 3 of a rebuild. You've got the same quarterback, same coordinator, same head coach. You've had 3 off seasons. You could make it. I think you could make an argument. I don't think it's hyperbole to suggest everything has been building for the last 6 weeks of the regular season. Let's take a look at it. Like, you have put together 3 free agencies, 3 draft classes, developing Trey McBride, Kyler Murray back from a torn ACL, re-upping Drew Petzing, keeping him around. Rollis is a star defensive coordinator. It all comes down to November 30th through January 4th to get you to the postseason, to get you where you want to be. Because on paper, I like the Cardinals roster more than Atlanta, more than Cincinnati, sometimes more than LA, right? And then it's going to come down to the quarterback you see on the screen. Can Kyler Murray perform 4 out of the last 6 games on the road? Granted, outside of Cincinnati, all should be in climate-controlled environments. Shouldn't matter, right? At Houston, at Tampa, at LA. This is where we're really going to be able to sit back. Because I think the Cardinals are going to be above 500 entering this stretch of games. Like, you have 6 games to end the year. You are going to be over 500, barring something unforeseen. Can you keep the train on the tracks and get this team to the playoffs and, God forbid, win a division title? This is what, and you know what? I would rather it's set up like this. You're going to be playing young players. Kyler Murray, just shelve all the narratives. The narratives about he can't finish, he can't play late in the year, he crumbles under pressure. This is your pathway.
Yeah.
Because all last year we talked about their schedule's easy in the second half. They're 6-4. They're going to cruise. They're going to coast. It didn't matter who they played, save for a bad, horrendous New England team and a Niners team who had no players left. The Cardinals were not competitive against the Panthers, against the Vikings, against the Seahawks, and they couldn't score points against the Rams when it counted. Give me the best at the end of the year so I can make an evaluation on this rebuild and this quarterback.
Yeah, you don't want to just have it easy, right? You don't want your path easy. That doesn't create the adversity that's necessary for success and growth, right? And as far as just for this team's mission should be changing the narrative. And what's the one narrative that continues to follow, especially its franchise quarterback, is not being able to win down the stretch. And what better opportunity to go up against your final 6 opponents? 5 of them are over 500. And the one team that's not was 8-9 in the Atlanta Falcons. And the league is high on Atlanta for some reason. They like Michael Penix Jr. and they like what, their trajectory. Like those 6 games, like I think if you can go 3-3, you'd be doing yourself really well there. And that's, you can't bottom out. You can't go 2-4. You can't go 1-5. You certainly can't go 0-6, because then that's when, I think wholesale changes start to be discussed in tough conversations are going to be had, because like you wouldn't want to see it where it's like, oh, you flip it and you've got New Orleans and you've got Tennessee and you've got Indianapolis and you've got a little bit of fool's gold on your hands, and you get to January and you get your doors blown off. Like this is going to be this schedule lines up to where you can stack wins. You in the middle part, you can prove your worth, and then you can earn it at the end of the season and be battle tested going into January and trending in the right direction.
You're not going to be backdooring into the postseason.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're going to be in a position to stack some wins early, and then Kyler Murray go beat Joe Burrow. Kyler Murray go beat Baker Mayfield and Michael Penix and Stafford once, beat CJ Stroud in Houston, go back to Houston, take care of business. Like it's all right there. I think this schedule on the surface lines up favorably for a team that should have the expectation to win 10 plus games. And we're going to give our official, prediction tomorrow. We're going to go game by game, but just on the surface level, if you're an Arizona Cardinal fan, I would be pleased with where the bye week is. I'd be pleased with how you're able to stack wins early against teams that are going to be, in my opinion, trying to find themselves, especially New Orleans. That the New Orleans game should be a game where you really just put them to bed early. Your skill set, your players, your coaching staff. I mean, that's a game the Cardinals should win handedly. I do want to touch on, before we get to our guests here in a second, Cardinals get 2 primetime games, one more than last year. They're real primetime games, not ESPN Plus garbage, Fraud City. But most teams got 3+. Commanders got 8, right? Cardinals are down there with, the Titans didn't get any. The Raiders got 3 primetime games. We put the over under at 2.5. We both took the over.
Yeah.
Now the Cardinals could still be flexed, and I think that's what this schedule allows, is we could see some games be flexed. But are you surprised the Cardinals didn't get one more primetime game, at least early on?
Yeah, I mean, especially when you start to look at the league and who got primetime games, it's a pretty jagged pill to swallow. I mean, you've got some teams out there, but you take into consideration, like Tampa Bay gets 3. 4. I think that they should probably just be a notch under that. Like they should have had 3. Like the Cardinals deserved a early Sunday night game. Like in the middle of that stretch or this schedule, I think that there was a game there that you could give the Cardinals there. I mean, I know you've got the Thursday night football and you've got Monday night football kind of week 4 and week 9. Like, could you have mixed in this Green Bay game as maybe they felt like the Packers already were maxed out as far as those games? You're not going to put Tennessee or Indianapolis there, I guess. San Francisco, week 11 maybe was your other opportunity. Tampa,
like Rams, week 14, week 18.
Yeah.
That Rams game that was flexed last year was really competitive. Was a great watch on Saturday night. I mean, the Cardinals, with all those teams in the back half, Houston, LA, Atlanta, Cincinnati, I feel like in Tampa I think they're going to be in the mix with all those teams, and they're going to have similar records. Like I feel like that was an easy layup that the Cardinals just didn't get the benefit of the doubt. And again, like I am somebody who would prefer them to win first and then have those accolades come. But when you see other teams like the Cowboys, I get it. They're the default America's team, kind of. They're playing on Christmas and they're playing on Thanksgiving. Brian Schottenheimer, come on. Like nobody wants to see that. There are teams, in my opinion, that got the benefit of the doubt. I told you yesterday, I've been saying this for weeks on end. Fraud NBC Sports with Florio and Mike Tirico, they were never giving the Cardinals a game. Right. And screw NBC Sports Sunday Night Football. They've always hated on the Cardinals. They've never given them any kind of platform. I remember it was Chris Collinsworth that said when the Cardinals were in the playoffs in 2008, 2009, they were the worst playoff team in the history of the league. So Sunday Night Football, I think it's fallen off quite a bit. It's not the marquee game now. Monday Night Football is. So I was disappointed they didn't get one more Monday night game. I thought they would get 2 Monday night games and a Thursday night game. It's disappointing that Vikings get 2 back-to-back nationally televised international games. Come on.
Yeah. You've got that. You've got, the Bears somehow getting as many as they did.
Yeah.
I'm looking at, the Monday night slate. You've got a couple double headers and stuff. You couldn't work into that. It's going to be one of those things, just like the end of the season. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to put yourself, build your 2025 resume. And when the flex becomes available, the Cardinals are one of those teams that are appealing to the decision makers. You could tell that this NFL schedule was that they leaned into those big fan bases, those big rabid fan bases like the Vikings, like the Bears, like the Cowboys. They didn't leave them hanging, but they did leave, some of the teams that have been building and trying to increase, their relevancy. They just kind of overlooked them. Like the Cardinals are sitting there with 2 games with the opportunity to probably add one more.
The one more, I think, pretty confident, I think I saw the Bengals game can be played either Saturday or Sunday, like the Rams game last year.
Yeah.
Like the Bengals and the Cardinals are both viable. Like that's a game I could see being flexed to like Saturday afternoon at Cincinnati or Saturday evening. That'd be a fun game to watch in prime time. So I think Cardinals win. They're going to get another game or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll take care of itself. But yeah, Midwest Mike, win games, problem solved. Absolutely. No doubt about it. But I think we can all say the Cardinals need to win more, but it's frustrating to watch these same fraud teams get nationally televised games. And fair or not, you partially grow your fan base, I know, with winning, but being on national stages, right? We want more Cardinal fans to cheer and root for this team, to be invested in this team. And that's part of the reason we wanted them on an international stage, right?
Yeah.
On top of you and I wanted to go to the game. So Cardinals get 2 primetime games. By the way, I love both games. I love Thursday early against Seattle, and I absolutely love Dallas Monday Night Football. So yeah, Cardinals schedule. I think you and I on the surface, I'd give it a B+. I think it's a really solid to above average schedule. Coming off an A off season, I think it's a really nice, everything's in front of you kind of schedule.
Struck a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Hit a lot of notes for sure.
Yeah.
But was there some things that, like international game, like you said, that you wanted to see legitimate Sunday night football game, because I think that's like the true testament to being a relevant team these days. Not getting the Giants and the Patriots are playing on Monday Night Football. Like they hand those things out.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I'll tell you what's not frustrating. What we've got coming up right around the corner. It's PHNX Cardinals. But first, it's getting hot here in Arizona. Stay cool with our friends at All Pro Shades Concepts. Extend your outdoor living space with a custom fit awning, hundreds of designs and colors to choose from to match any home. You can work with your HOA, motorize and retract with a remote control, LED lighting, and more. Roll down patio shades, block out the sun, keep the patio up to 20 degrees cooler. Hundreds of durable colors, fabrics to choose from, sealed track or cable shades. They've got drop downs. Again, I'm looking at upgrading my outdoor. I know only I'm going with All Pro Shades because they've got that BBB A+ rating with over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google. They've been in business with the Valley for over 20 years, started making window shades by hand for friends and family in Phoenix. Now they're one of the largest installers of patio roll-down shades and motorized awnings in the Valley. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Give them a call, 623-204-1476, or visit allproshadeconcepts.com to schedule your free estimate today.
Johnny, you ever look at your bank account and be like, where did all my money go? I'm broke. But I thought I was.
Literally happens to me all the time.
I thought I was being financially savvy. I thought I was, taking care of things correctly. And next thing you know, you're broke. But look, it happens to everybody. It happens to the best of us, because between like food delivery, late night Amazon sprees. I mean, it's weird when we don't have an Amazon package arriving at my door on a daily basis. Grabbing Ubers to avoid parking. It's easy to lose track, but not with our friends over at Monarch Money. This is where they come in and they're going to act like your personal CFO. Monarch Money, they're going to help you just stop from earning, but actually start growing your money. They're going to get you on the right track. It's not just your average budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center that's going to get you going. Counts, investment goals, everything you want to do financially, you can do with our friends over at Monarch Money. They make money management simple, even for crazy, busy lives like everybody has out there. No more guesswork, no more late night financial anxiety. Check it out. Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use the code PHNX. You can save even more money at monarchmoney.com. 50% off your first year by using the code PHNX. That's half off. monarchmoney.com, code PHNX.
Drop us a like and check us out at gophnx.com. Pick up some merch, by the way, from the merchandise locker. I believe it is still 30% off the large stretch of gophnx.com. All City Network. Become a diehard. How about this? Become a diehard. Get your free membership card. Get a shirt of your choosing from the locker. Man, do we have some shirts to choose from. Access all of our premium written content from Gerald Bourguet, of course, all of our friends. I'm known to write an article here and there at gophnx.com. Check it out right now. Plus, you get entrance into the exclusive member Discord, discounts on all of our events, 20% off, so much. Big thank you to all of our diehards that have come into the fold this past year. This community would not be what it is without all of you. And again, if you're thinking about it, you're gonna want to take advantage of this sale. How about here? Spring cleaning up to 75% off, 30% off the entire store right now. We've got an $8 Greg Dortch t-shirt that you can't find anywhere else. Shop right now at store.allcitynetwork.com. Again, 75% off. That Arizona PHNX Cardinals hoodie, that's on sale, 30% off right now. Our branded Bills collection, 30% off right now. Multiple tees. We're sold out of a bunch, but we got a bunch still. Get in while the getting's good before we drop a bunch of new merch. And we're dropping announcements, aren't we, Bo Brock?
That's right. We got our guy Tyler from Birdgang Travel, Tyler Vasquez. Check him out because we're excited to announce our partnership with Birdgang Travel. We're getting it right. We're going on the road with birdgangtravel.com, PHNX. The partnership makes too much damn sense. We're finally getting it right. And Tyler's here to talk about his incredible packages for the 2025 season. Dallas, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. Tyler, what's going on, my man?
Dallas and New Orleans. We're cutting Tampa. Tampa is Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah. So that one's gone. We're not going to the beach, unfortunately. But yeah, New Orleans week 1 or Dallas week 9, Monday Night Football. Fellas, I hear you're joining us. You're coming on the road. We're doing one trip, we're doing 2. What are you thinking?
I think we're going to go big. One game. We had fun last year in Miami, but we know this year with Birdgang Travel is going to trump that tenfold. You know, we've been talking about it. We wanted to do something in warm weather climate because we're extra soft, Tyler, as you know. But I will say, like, Monday Night Football, prime time, Kyler Murray. I think I'm leaning Dallas on Monday Night Football. What do you think, Bo?
I expected that from Johnny. Johnny wants to not do New Orleans, the big party city. I get it. But they're both going to be very appetizing. We got some other announcements that are going to come here shortly, I hope.
Okay.
That may swing the pendulum a little bit to one city or the other.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Look,
interesting.
We're house divided here on PHNX Cardinals because I see it. Like, I mean, New Orleans, the Big Easy at the end of early September. That's going to be a fun time to be there. Season opener, expectations, hype is going to be at an all-time high. Hope is going to be there. So we'll see. I mean, but you could also sway me Monday Night Football, the Jerry Dome. But regardless, you're going to have 2 incredible packages over at Birdgang Travel. But Tyler, you are a diehard Cardinals fan. Initial thoughts on this season, this 2025 schedule that you've seen so far?
I mean, I've heard you guys talk about it for weeks. Everything's lined up for the Cardinals to be successful this year between the 2 divisions that they're gifted this year to the strength of schedule as a whole. I mean, the Cardinals should win some games this year, and that's the whole plan. We want to see them make the playoff push. Kyler Murray go to the next level. Similar to years past, we want to see that bounce back ever since that injury and see them perform at a high level. So I'm excited for this year. I think with all the additions and free agency in the draft, I only think big things are to come for this team, this organization. So super pumped to get everybody on the road this year. Our packages are always huge. Last time we were in doubt, this is actually the first time that we were going to be going back to both cities.
Mm-hmm.
Year after year, it's always kind of a new city. This year, we're going back to New Orleans. Last time we took over 350 people. Dallas, last time it was New Year's Eve, but we still took about 150. So both big trips. And we only expect them to be bigger this year. There's a cool video on our Twitter, on our Instagram today of the parade down Bourbon Street that we did. Had over 950 Cardinal fans going down, marching down the street there. So we're going to do that again and bigger and better. So we're really looking forward to a great year. Eric and I, on our side of Birdgang Travel, have worked hard at already today as the leaks were coming out. And we thank you guys for staying on top of it and getting those leaks out. I was copying a lot of your tweets, sending them over to Eric, like, hey, here's the games that are filling in. And we were already calling hotels and getting the framework done. So we anticipate packages will be live sometime in the next, I'd say 10 days. I would love to have them up by this Friday, that gives us 48 hours. So we're going to do our best, but worst case, we're thinking by next week.
You didn't fill out your whole travel itinerary with Mac Wilson's rap song that he just dropped?
I haven't got to hear it. I saw all the promotional ads, but I did not get to hear the song. Eric tried to play it for me out in your guys' your lounge out there. And I was, you know, I'm a gamer. I'm into you guys. I'm locked into the show. I had you guys in my ear pod, and I'm drafting up emails and sending out news blasts for these trips. This is like our Christmas day. Yeah. It's, you know, get these packages out, have a good time. I didn't get to listen to the Mac Wilson masterpiece that I've heard is out there.
You know, usually when we welcome new partners, when we welcome new sponsors of the show, Bo and I do our best to try to get the fan base or the audience educated on a product or something that we truly believe in. But you can tell already, Tyler, by the response in the chat. I mean, this one, how about here from Ryan H? Birdgang Travel goes big. We can't wait. This is a partnership that has been months in the making. It's made too much sense to not have it happen up until this point. We're so excited. We did some stuff early on, the inception of PHNX Sports. Now we're excited because, you know, we believe that this is the premier Arizona Cardinal travel sponsor, and you guys are going to see it done up big. I've had the opportunity to attend multiple on the road events with Tyler and his crew in the past. They are first class through and through. Tyler, when you look at the landscape of this schedule right now, Bo and I talked about it. Are you a little disappointed they didn't get more than 2 nationally televised games?
I mean, you always want to see it. I was hoping we'd find one on Sunday night. I know you guys were saying Tarico on what was it last night or the night episode before, but yeah, I would still like to see them on, you know, get one of each, get a Thursday, get a Monday, get a Sunday. I thought towards the end of the season, you know, you'd get another, maybe a divisional coming down to the end matchup. And then with Cincinnati being so late in the season, I thought that made too much sense also. But, you know, it is what it is. At least they got 2 this year. They didn't get the imitation primetime game that they got last season. So
on Tubi or something.
Yeah, I got to go on the field for that game and do the flag and all that. And I was like, man, this is, not that they show that anyway. I don't think they do, at least on TV. But I was like, man, like this is on something that nobody's ever going to see. But yeah, there you go. So,
well, I think even with primetime games for Tyler, I mean, it's his opportunity to get some camera time. You always see Birdgang Travel represented. I feel like when they're coming back, they do the stock cactus video that they shoot, and they probably shot it like 20 years ago, and they use the same one. And then next thing you know, there's Tyler's face right there. He's got his gigantic hat on and his chain, and he's representing the Bird Gang there in the stands.
I was in Chicago for a takeover the first year we did this, and we were in downtown Chicago, if you remember, Tyler, and you had you and Birdgang Travel had taken over a bar. And this is like, you know, the Bears are on their last legs with Andy Dalton. The Cardinals are riding high, and it was a Cardinal town that night, and you had taken over. And I need those vibes to return. So, like in New Orleans, you have your sights set on a couple places to kind of hold the fort down? Have you been thinking about that at all?
Yeah, you know, the interesting thing is that, again, we're going to these cities a second time, so we don't want to repeat too much. But there are some you got to play the classics sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we will go to some of the same stuff we've done in terms of maybe the same boat party that we did last time, because that was a blast. We will be on a bar on Bourbon Street, maybe not the same bar that we were at last time. We'll have a balcony throwing off some beats. I will say, last time we were on Bourbon Street for our pep rally party, Post Malone ended up crashing our party that night. It was the craziest thing we've ever had on any of our trips. But he came out to the back patio, and then as our party was wrapping up, he's like, "Can I hang out here?" And we're like, "Can we hang out here? I mean, we know this is our space, but can we hang out here?" So you never know what's going to happen on these trips. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have a lot of cool things in the works, from stadium tours. Like in Dallas, we'll do a stadium tour of Jerry's World for sure. In New Orleans, you know, from the boat to the parade down Bourbon Street. We're going to be throwing beads off, and Johnny hopefully will be earning some beads.
Wow. Special.
Yeah. That's
so special. We were just in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, and I'll never forget the first night I got there. Bo and I, we had a hell of a great time, Damon and everybody. So I'm going to tell you right now,
it was a horrible, horrible time.
Bo will lead the charge. I'll tell you right now. Bo knows all the spots. He'll take good care of us along with Tyler. So you guys are. Is it 2 against 1? You're thinking New Orleans over Monday Night Football in Dallas
you're
right
going
now?
to both, and I think I'm already sending emails to your wives to convince them to let you guys take 2 trips with us.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, the plan is, to roll out a little details is similar to what you guys did in Miami last year. Make you a part of the trip, not just hanging out, talking with the fans, which we love. But also, doing your shows from the trip. And we would love to, we're going to add that element to our trips that already have a ton in it. If you've been on them before, you get a State 48 commemorative trip shirt. You get the jacket I'm wearing has a bunch of patches from different trips that we've done. You'll get a commemorative patch. You'll get, there'll be a deadline. I think it'll be sometime end of June to sign up. That if you sign up by that date, you'll get an autographed mini helmet from Calais Campbell.
Wow.
Now, if you wait past that, you can still get a package. You just won't get the signed helmet. So all that info is going to come as we roll out the packages next week.
We will lock in, obviously, when or both, which destinations we're going to be attending and doing those live shows. But it's a perfect marriage, I think, between Birdgang Travel, PHNX Sports, and PHNX Cardinals. Those I can't wait to get the raucous vibes that we're going to have for a live show on location there with the help of Tyler and the crew over at Birdgang Travel. Check them out, birdgangtravel.com. Of course, the incentives to get in early. Do it. You can get that Calais Campbell signed helmet. Man, how great is it to have Big Calais back in the fold?
It's awesome. And that's a signed helmet for everyone in the package. So you can have up to 4 people in a room. You can get 2 beds. So we've had 2 couples do it. We've had families do it. You can have up to 4 people in there, and each person will get a signed helmet from Calais.
Birdgang Travel, PHNX Cardinals, stronger together, and we are back and we're ready to roll for the 2025 season. Very poetic here. There it is. We are fired up. Birdgang Travel. They are back with PHNX Cardinals, PHNX Sports. Tyler's going to be joining us, hopefully, throughout the course of this year, breaking down packages, breaking down Cardinal football. Follow them right now on all social platforms, including on Twitter. They are at Birdgang Travel, and, of course, birdgangtravel.com. Fired up. Get into your super chats and more. That's coming up. It's PHNX Cardinals.
Slide.
Man, so much good stuff right now, and the fun just continues, especially with our friends at Branded Bills. Check them out right now. Use the bonus code PHNX for 20% off your first order. Here's what you can do right now. You can go to the ALLCITY Network and get 30% off our collection. Then go to brandedbills.com and get 20% off their collection, because they will elevate your brand. The perfect headwear and apparel. They've got snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, tees, and more. Start now with the ASU U of A campus collection, Chef's Kiss. They're locally owned, operated out of Mesa, brandedbills.com. They have you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need right now. Again, check out this lid that I'm rocking right now. This may or may not have been a gift from one Trey McBride, but you can get it for yourself, brandedbills.com, 20% off. Do it now.
I cannot wait to ask Trey McBride at the Kyler Murray Foundation softball game if that was truly a gift or if he just kind of left behind some.
Can you keep
a beautiful Branded Bills hat?
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Well, I am going to do my best.
I actually think Johnny stole it.
I do too. I think so as well. I think that all the cards are on the table as far as that goes.
I would say, picture like a marriage proposal. Somebody gets down on one knee. It was like a level right below that where it was like, here is this hat. I want you to wear it. You are my friend. I think that was basically what was said.
It's a token of our friendship kind of thing.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Schedule is out. Best way to get yourself in the game is our friends over at Game Time. Yeah, go find those Arizona Cardinals tickets at Game Time for their entire 2025 slate. Game Time, man. It is the best ticketing app, bar none. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use the code PHNX. It's going to save you some money, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, get that account, redeem code PHNX for $20 off. You want tickets to the Cardinals games. You want tickets to Diamondbacks games. ASU is going to have a big football season as well. Get your tickets through Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. What time is it, Johnny?
It's game time. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Super chats here, 600 watching live. Let's kick things off. Biscuits and Bear, $20. Thank you so much, Biscuits and Bear, for the support on that level. T.Y. Bo and Johnny kept refreshing screens all day, and each time you both showed up with updates. Now let's get ready to beat up on Tyler Shuck. Yep, Tyler Shuck, who is entering his rookie season at the ripe old age of 37 years old, is going to take on Kyler Murray in the opener. But in all seriousness, I'll be tooting our own horn here for a second. Bo and I, we put the time in after hours, and we want to be first, yes, but we want to be accurate. And we feel like Arizona Cardinal fans, we want to bring you news that you're excited about. We had a tip yesterday on that Thursday Night Football game. We ran with it, and very excited with the content and the predictions that came to be true here for PHNX Cardinals schedule release.
Very trustworthy source, very generous to provide us that information. And I think it's a testament to the audience,
yes,
wanting to inform them and not just deceive them and say, hey, like this is information, you can find it, and just kind of take a shot in the dark. So what you're getting there, it's incredibly well sourced from trustworthy people, and we're thankful for people entrusting us for their information. So big thank you there, and thank you for following along the entire time. It's one of those fun days. It's very underrated day, I think, on the NFL calendar. Picking spreads, Donnie, $4.99. Robbed of a Sunday night football game. Still a great day. Schedule release on my 23rd birthday.
Wow.
Got accepted for a PFF internship.
Wow.
Life is good. Keeps grinding, boys. I love that, man. Congratulations. Happy birthday, and take over. There's a lot of opportunity at PFF. You and Trevor Sikkema, man, it's going to be the next duo. Can't wait to see it.
We need some new blood at PFF in the form of picking spreads, Donnie. Congrats. Happy birthday, my guy. Thank you for your support of this show and just being involved. We appreciate all of you, and we want good things for everybody. If you want to be in content, if you want to do your own podcast, if you're a fan, a lot of people are graduating right now. We appreciate you making us a small part of your day. Shaft, my guy, $25. Can't wait to see Shaft this fall. You know he's going to be on some of these trips. My biggest question is, what road games are there it is, the diehards going to travel to? Dallas, Seattle, or Tampa. I'd like my 12-5 prediction. I still like my 12-5 prediction for 2025. Well, it looks like Tampa Bay, unfortunately, is off the table because it coincides with Thanksgiving weekend. Seattle, not a terrible option for a road game late in the year. Feels like Dallas and New Orleans are the heavy favorites for this podcast, but Bo, I think we're going to send Bo to a fair amount of games on road trips this year. We'll be holding it down here in studio on location. So, Shaft, when we know, we'll let you know, my guy.
It's a bold schedule prediction, 12-5, but thank you for the generous super chat. Yeah, we'll lock that in. So just keep watching, keep listening to PHNX Cardinals. We'll let you know what the final plans are, and how you can hang out with us, the crew, and get to know an even bigger Cardinals community, another Cardinals community. Like, we're going to merge it. I know, like, us and Birdgang, like, we've all existed in the same space, but there's, also two different sects. So I can't wait to bring people who have the same passion for this team together. Keeping it going. By the way, after these super chats, a huge indictment on the lack of primetime games for the Arizona Cardinals, the league. Just looking at this now, it opens my eyes a little wider how brutal it was. But Mike Meyer, all right, $1.99. Okay, won't be mad if y'all don't freeze me with me in Cincy. Yeah, December game in Cincinnati, week 17. It's a hard pass for your boys.
I would do it. I think that game's going to be on national TV. So I do think that'll be probably one of the marquee games on the schedule this year. I think we'll look back and be
you think Cincinnati can hang? I mean, I know what they have offensively, but defensively they remain just a disaster.
I know. We'll see. Again, they still have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, but yeah, I don't buy Zach Taylor. And who knows? Somebody texted me today. It's like Trey Hendrickson could be on another team by then. Maybe the Cardinals. We'll see. Terrence Fox, body guy, $5. You guys think the starters sit all preseason like last year? Or do you think they should play a few series in each preseason game? I think they sit. I think all the starters sit. Certainly the veterans. I think Darius will play because he needs to. I think certainly Walter Nolan, Will Johnson, those guys will play. But Cody Simon hopefully plays a lot. I think Taylor Demerson will play. But Is Trey McBride playing in the preseason? No. Is James Conner? No. Is Marv? No. Michael Wilson? No. Kyler? I think Jacoby Brissett's going to be fun to watch playing. I'm excited to watch Jacoby Brissett and Xavier Weaver and, Tip Ryman, maybe some of these backups. So no, I would expect no starters. I think they'll run it back again like last year.
Yeah, I don't see them changing things up significantly as far as that goes, but you could see a little bit of Nolan. You could see a little bit of Will Johnson.
Yeah.
I think the roster depth is just going to be way more appealing. You're not going to just seeing some scrub fourth, fifth stringers that are going to be working day jobs before you know it. ZT Torres, one of our diehards, $4.99, based on opponent, time of year, and history. Which game is a must-watch this season?
I mean, I think it's – let's pull up the schedule if we could, producer Shane, real quick. I think it's Cowboys, Monday Night Football, because I think that's really where you could show the league in November, like, hey, Cardinals are a real team. I also think if they were to go into Houston and win December 14th, we start to see Kyler Murray have that arrow pointed up late in the year. I mean, the last meaningful game that Kyler won, I was in Dallas for it. Kyler beat the Cowboys Sunday afternoon and locked them up a playoff spot. Like, yeah. I need to see a game or 2 or 3 like that this year. But, I mean, Cowboys, Houston, Rams. I mean, there's a couple of games on here where the team could really solidify themselves.
I like those. I've got one in mind that I've circled, and that's October 19th, week 7 against the Green Bay Packers, because I think it's going to kind of set some things, because you've got the easy first 6 games and you should take care of business. Come out of that 5-1, 4-2, hell, 6-0. And the league's going to be asking some questions. Is this team's for real? You've got a huge measuring stick game here against a proven commodity in modern day NFL, and obviously through the history of the league, and the Green Bay Packers. I think this game at home, you can start to maybe build on your fan base with a big win here. I think that's going to be get your popcorn out, look at how far we've come type of game.
You would love to see that. Love to see this next super chat. Z Warlock 505. $5 trivia. When was the last time an NFC West team swept the NFC West? I know the Cardinals swept it in 2008 when they won the division. I think they went undefeated that year in the division. But the last time an NFC West team swept the NFC West, I mean, I don't know. It's with the Rams and the Seahawks and the Niners all being viable for a long time. I think it's been a long time. I couldn't tell you though, Z Warlock. Great question. Does anybody know in the chat?
Hopefully he knows the answer. We'll see. We'll check out the chat here once we get past this next super chat. $5 from Josh. Looking at the schedule, the first 4 games will be crucial to the rest of the season and us seeing how the team actually is.
You look at Seattle last year. I know they didn't make the playoffs, Josh, but they got to 10 wins in large part because they could fraud it up against some bad teams early last year. Remember, they stacked a bunch of wins early, and then they kind of went into a little bit of a downturn. Then they heated up to some degree in the second half. Cardinals, I mean, like, it puts pressure on them, and I think pressure is important this year. Everybody better be ready to play. I think it's a mandate. You have to be 2-0 going into Santa Clara. Like, I'm not going to say the Niner game is a must-win on the road. You by no means can you be losing to Tyler Shuck and Bryce Young. You have to beat both those teams.
I don't think Z Warlock knows the definitive answer. He thinks that you did get it correct with the Cardinals in 2008.
I know my history. Love this team, for better or worse.
Looks like Schaff is saying the Niners swept the division 2022 and 2023. They didn't get caught up by the Rams.
I mean, maybe they had the number 1 seed that year. I could see that.
Yeah.
B's $2. When is JV's 49er diss track dropping? I mean, you can't
really
get
unfortunate.
The scheduled diss track because it's we're about halfway to our light goal of 500. Yeah. We're about 220 short. But here's what I'll say about San Francisco. I think that they're going to lose games that people think they're going to win because they're Kyle Shanahan, the Niners, and I do think this is the year of the foundation crumbling in San Francisco. I think we could see Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch be outed after this year.
Wow.
I think Brock Purdy is fraudulent. I think Kittle is old. Bosa's old. People are already like, I loved Mykel Williams coming out of college. We both did. The tweets that are being aggregated about Mykel Williams, it's like he's Lawrence Taylor. It's like, guys, come on. He's a nice rookie. He'll probably have a nice rookie year. But they're talking about San Francisco taking the next step because of Mykel Williams. Guys, the league doesn't work like that, right? Jared Verse was really good for the Rams last year. He had like 4.5, 5 sacks. Yeah. The infrastructure on the Rams defense is bad.
Well, and also when Nick Bosa inevitably goes out with some sort of injury, and it's just Mykel Williams, and I mean that was a brutal defense last year. They were one of the worst
in the league.
So to think that they're going to take a monumental step forward just because, you know, they get a pass rusher out of Georgia 11th overall, I think is a bit naive. So they listed out the primetime games. Yeah. KC leads the way with 7. You got Dallas and Philly with 6. You got the Falcons, Bills, Niners, Packers, Lions with 5. Ravens, Broncos, Bears, Bengals, Dolphins, Chargers, Steelers, Commanders, Rams, Vikings, Bucks with 4. And you have the Texans, Pats, Seahawks, Giants with 3. Giants had one more primetime game than the Arizona Cardinals. Them and the Raiders have 2. That's how the league looks at the Cardinals right now. They're on par with Vegas. And then you've got the Colts, Jags, Carolina, Jets with 1, and then the Browns, Saints, and Titans with 0.
The New York Giants this year have the hardest schedule. Have you looked at the Giants schedule? It's the hardest schedule this year. It's one of the hardest schedules of the last 20 years. The Giants are going to be so irrelevant and unwatchable. Not even Cam Scattaboo, Brian, and I love me some Scat. Not even Cam Scattaboo can save them. What a terrible, unwatchable product they're going to put on display. Lame duck head coach, lame duck general manager. You're right. Shame on the NFL. And you know what, Mike Tirico and company, you guys deserve that. Putting them on fraud Sunday Night Football so people can just do this. Irrelevant. Turn you off. Basic cable. Goodbye. You know, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch Daniel Jones remnants now with Russell Wilson and who else? Jackson Dart. I mean, Malik Neighbors can only get me to lock in for so long. It's just a horrendous product, a horrendous team organization. Very disappointing. Disappointing that the Cardinals are not thought of better than the Giants nationally. But it's New York, so they're going to get favored. But the Cardinals right now, the NFC West, they're very much like a byproduct of the NFC West turn down. The North is hot and the East is hot. And so those teams, you're guilty by association, where the Giants can fraud it up, rubbing elbows with the Commanders and the Eagles, whereas the Niners are down a little bit. The Rams are the Rams. Seahawks are always kind of where they're at. So the Cardinals just take care of business in the first half, and you will get flexed. You will get rewarded, no doubt about it.
Unbelievable stuff. Did somebody sneak in a super chat? I think we've got another one just dropped. Our guy Robert, $2. Hate to be the Aints versus the Cards defense. It is such a great season opening game with the opportunity to just beat down the Saints, who are just really in tough shape roster wise across the board.
I mean, we've got months to preview this game. We don't know the opening line yet. Hopefully we know it by the time the show kicks off tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Let me just, I know we're going to go here in a second. I'm just going to read you some personnel that they have. They're still trotting out Brandon Cooks. I forgot he's back on the team. And they've got Olave. They took Fuaga, the tackle, Trevor Penning. Defensively, Cam Jordan, Carl Granderson, Demario Davis, Chase Young, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, it's on paper. I think it has a chance to be the worst defense in the NFL. I think Dennis Allen kind of frauded it up a couple games last year, and then it fell off. You know, this is a game. I saw people talk about it on Twitter. I agree. This has to be a Marvin Harrison Jr. FU double bird kind of game to the rest of the league. This needs to be like a 200-yard game for Marv. Kool-Aid with Marv. Goodbye. Put you in the dirt. Put you in a body bag. Kool-Aid McKinstry. This has to be a game where it's like Kyler Murray has 5 touchdowns and Marv goes for 200 yards as the Cardinals mercy rule the New Orleans Saints. Anything less than that, I will not be satisfied. Sorry.
It's the first time that the NFL has put in the running clock in the second half. I'm trying to look. Okay, I've got a spread for you. You ready?
I'm going to guess. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Cardinals hosting the Saints September 7th.
Cardinals
That's
at
the
the
spread.
Saints. Yeah. Cardinals are 3.5 point favorite.
Wait, where's the game?
It's in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans.
3.5 point. Shane and I used to do a betting show. We used to do this every week. 3.5 point favorite Cards.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'll go 4.5.
You just do that to be a little different?
No,
You used to always do that. You always
Johnny nailed it. Johnny
Nice,
got it right on right to the hook. 3.5.
I actually see the reflection of the sportsbook in his eyes right now. He's looking at it online right
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Johnny.
No, I'm not. Come on.
Johnny. Come on.
On my family, I did not do that.
How dare you?
I do this shiz for a living. Gosh darn it.
Okay, you want week 2? You want week 2? Carolina? Home opener?
That will better be 7.5. It won't be. It's probably my official prediction, I will go 5.5.
You just said Shane just said 5.5. Do you want to
No, I didn't hear him. I'll do 5.5 too.
It's 4.5.
Wow.
Oh.
Let me see
Hammer
if
it.
we got a week 3 here.
Hammer
They
it.
do have a week 3. Cardinals on the road at San Francisco.
San Fran minus 2.5.
Shane? Oh, you guys are pretty good being within a point on these guys.
Yeah, I'll say 3. No, 2.
Just 2 points?
Yeah.
Cardinals are 3.5 point dogs.
Wow. That's gross.
I do have, and especially I love that Shane's here. We do have the Thursday Night Football week 4 spread. Cardinals at home. Who's the favorite?
Cardinals minus 3. Cardinals minus 3.
Man, you guys split the difference. 2.5.
Yeah.
Vegas is down on the Seahawks this year. They're picking Seahawks to win 7 games, over under 7, which is really disrespectful.
I love that the spreads are out on these. I don't think that was it.
Let's holster. We'll revisit this tomorrow. Excellent. With our friends at Bet365. What a show. What a time to be live. Cardinals A+ off season. PHNX Cardinals A+ off season with the new partnership announced. Check them out again. Birdgang Travel. You heard it from Tyler. Packages are going to be rolling out here in the next couple of days. Get on it right now. You know your boys are. We're going to tell you which ones we're in attendance for, but I mean, if you can swing it, these are the elite of the elite, the Rolls-Royce, the Sanderson Ford of travel packages. Check them out right now. In the meantime, drop a like on this video, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Big thanks for everybody that supported us over the last 24 hours as we got out the information that we could, pieced the schedule together and had it first, of course, for 3 years running. Had it first before anybody else because we love what we do here. We're very fortunate.
Yeah. We are very fortunate. Even appreciate those who took our information and didn't credit us. You know
who you are. You know who you are.
We know you listen. We know you follow. But big thanks to everybody out there. We appreciate all the everybody part of this community. We'll be talking more about this schedule, of course, in the exclusive member Discord. The only way you get to that be becoming a diehard. Go PHNX.com. We've got more content, of course, going up. Make sure you subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. And you like this video. Unfortunately, we didn't hit 500 for Johnny to drop some bars, but maybe tomorrow. Maybe that option is tomorrow, live at 4:30, barring any breaking news. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon.
We all silly like the mayor.